Yo, what is up, guys? SDFC Bros. Today, we're doing a season prediction video. And if you guys are new, first of all, I'm Vince.
I'm Carlos, and then our lovely, amazing
Our
producer,
Our
Jasmine.
producer, Jasmine. So, guys,
Yeah.
if you're new here, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow us on our Instagram page, simply at SDFC Bros. So, Carlos, how we doing, man? How we doing?
Yeah, no, I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing out here. The season's about to start. We're a week away, so it's good to start getting everything going and stuff. I think this weekend, or a little bit late for you guys who are watching at home, this weekend we're going to be getting a new away jersey. We're going to be able to see the new away jersey. And then we're going to have the first, kickoff official party. So I'm really excited to go there and look and see everything and really get back into the hype. I think it's been a while since we've been in the circle with the team, with everybody, and it's just going to be nice to see all those faces out there and get ready for next week's away opener against LA Galaxy. So I'm really excited. What about you, Vince?
Yeah, I'm super hyped. I mean, this is something that I think a lot of us from San Diego have been waiting for years and years, starting from the 1904 days, starting from the San Diego Loyal days. So if y'all are OGs like that, let me know in the comment section below.
You're right. It's actually exciting now that you're.
That's what I'm saying. No, it's hype. So it's like
we've been waiting for forever. I can remember when I was a kid. I don't know, just hoping for it, and just even when they first announced it, when Loyals came out and everything,
it's around the corner. It's around the corner. So
I'm excited.
This video is going to be a season prediction video. So we're just going to kind of go thoughts on going into this season for the transfer market, thoughts on the coach. Obviously, preseason, we're right in the middle of the Coachella Valley Invitational. Hasn't looked too good right now, but I think there are some positive takeaways. So we'll get into that. Thoughts on Right to Dream, players ones to watch, ones that we're looking forward to, and each of our own MVPs. And then at the end, we're going to do a season prediction for the table where we're going to place. And then first game preview, the first of many. So I'm really, really hyped about that.
We'll
so
see.
I think we should just get into it. I think we should just hop into it. So my thoughts going into this season, kind of just overall, right? When you kind of look at transfer market and everything like that. The transfer market, I will say, is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I feel like we're bringing in the right pieces of the puzzle. And I think when you talk about the names that we've brought in, Anders Dreyer, one of our DPs, obviously Chucky Lozano needs no introduction, Patty McNair. There's a lot of different characteristics in this team that I think will mesh really well together. I think just the only kind of thing that is on the top of my head is how long will it take for these lot to be a real cohesive team to the point where we're playing free-flowing, swashbuckling football, yeah?
Yeah, I think I'm with you right there. I think after seeing a little bit of the Coachella Invitational, we do still look a little stiff. You can see a little bit of camaraderie, I guess, or friendships growing and stuff like that, but we are still a little stiff and trying to get to know each other. So I think it might take just a little bit for us to kind of really get into that zone. But just to your point, the transfer market was nice, and I know for all of our other MLS fans and players who are probably watching, they probably don't think the same about our transfer market. They might be feeling we're the big names, where are the things, but I think with the thing that we're really ready to build and go forward, I think based on Mikey Vada's vision and the club's vision, I think we have a solid team as long as they can produce what we're hoping to get.
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree. I think from, if you're kind of looking at it from the inside out, right? Not the outside looking in, but if you're a San Diego fan, right? You're kind of looking at, I guess for a casual fan, right? You're kind of looking at, obviously in the podcast that we recorded, shout out to MLS Now podcast, you're mentioning how the fans for San Diego are saying, where's De Bruyne and everything like that.
Exactly.
I think De Bruyne will come. De Bruyne will come. I think that's something down the road. But
I'm hoping.
We're
hoping.
Yeah,
of course.
Of course. Yeah, that's definitely the goal.
Big
down
visions,
the line.
buddy. Big visions.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's important to have ambition like that for especially a new club like San Diego. But Mikey Varas, I think, has been kind of the talk of the town. I think for teams outside of MLS looking at Mikey Vadas and kind of the project that San Diego is, trying to construct, people are saying, oh, I don't think Mikey Vadas is the right person to kind of take control of this team. And if Mikey Vadas is the one to kind of lead these guys to the promised land being playoffs and, further. So what do you kind of think about Mikey Vadas kind of taking control of this team? And is he kind of worthy of being the first coach of San Diego?
Yeah, I think obviously the first time I saw that and thought about that, I saw him coming in, I was a little shocked and saying, who's this no name? After seeing where the club has kind of gone with it and everything, I kind of feel like, we needed anybody. I think out of everybody, it feels like he could be a start somewhere, and I think the vision with the club was truthfully, hey, let's start brand new, let's start with everything new, and if we get a coach like Mikey Vadas, who hasn't had any real experience, this can be the start of a project. And it's not a coach that's coming in with preconceptions or an idea of what needs to be done. It's somebody who wants a fresh start, and I feel like as a club that's what we should do, is have a fresh start. I really like it. Some people don't like it, but I really like that we have an idea of who we want to be and what we want to accomplish. It feels like a goal. It feels like we're really striving to be something, but where it's scary is with anything in life, I'm sure. It's when you have a goal and if you don't achieve it, then it's probably the worst thing ever. Right. So it's the same with soccer, that goal is there, and we just hope and we're trusting in the people that they're going to be able to be there, and do it for us. So I think Mikey Vadas is the only thing that I felt a little weird about, just a little too positive of a man, I think. I was seeing a little bit of stuff of his Coachella Valley interviews.
Yeah. My thoughts kind of just on Mikey Vadas as a coach, to what you were saying, kind of didn't really know kind of the profile of the name, kind of just the experience that he has is kind of just youth team experience, right? Coaching at the U.S. men's national team level at, I think, U21s or around that kind of time, or rather age gap, and you're kind of thinking, is he able to kind of get senior players, right? Players who are damn near in their prime, I would say, right? You have Chucky Lozano, who has something to prove, I feel like, to not only to MLS, but I think to El Tri fans as well, right? Because he wants to be on that World Cup roster, on home soil, not to mention. Exactly. So it's he has, I think, something really big to prove in these next 2 years, 1.5 years, that's when the World Cup is. So I think he has something massively to prove. And is Mikey Vadas have that character to kind of really not humble these guys, but kind of just to keep them under control?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Because he's only managed, under 21 players. So it's when you have a personality like a Chucky Lozano or an Anders Dreyer, where their ambitions are really high. How is Mikey Vadas going to get all of these guys on the same page? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was thinking too with what you said. I think just to go back to what we were talking about, the transfer market, and this is where I was saying, some fans might not feel like they did a good choice or whatnot, but I feel like the players that we did pick are not where you look at them where they're ego-filled or have a huge identity where they're going to come in and do that. And I think, speaking to Mikey Vadas, he might be able to do that, and we do have players that look like they want to be molded and are going to easily buy into his vision. Right. But I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, no. And then kind of going into preseason, kind of Coachella Valley Invitational, and kind of also Right to Dream, how we're trying to instill this system and philosophy of Right to Dream, where it's very offensively dominant.
Yeah.
And although that sounds great on paper, and I think we have the right characteristics to go forward with this certain style and really be an offensive juggernaut, of course there are some things that kind of worry me on the defensive end. And we've already kind of seen that in these first couple games, where it's it's really easy to essentially just counter quickly. We've seen that in these last couple games, that it's really easy to counter San Diego FC, right? Because there's this whole emphasis on the playing out of the press, right? You want to play out of the press, and I think this style of play requires top-level footballers, to be completely honest, where it's your first and second touches have to be on target almost every time. And I think there have been some bright spots. I think in the Portland Timbers game, there was like a section like just of, I think we had like a good spell of possession, and we were moving the ball quite well. I was seeing back heels from Anders Dreyer, and then Chucky Lozano was linking up play. So it's like, again, if you can kind of get your top quality players to really be at the forefront of this project offensively, right? And then, you can add in a Marcus Ingvartsen in there. You can add in a Thomas Ungal, someone who you're, very fond over.
Exactly.
If you can get these guys playing and firing on all cylinders, then this is where San Diego FC is going to be really tough to beat. However, and there is a however, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
It's going to take time because this is a very tough style to kind of go through. So what are your kind of thoughts on Right to Dream and kind of your thoughts on kind of preseason, what you've seen?
Yeah, no, I think I agree with you. And I think going into the Coachella Valley Invitational, we kind of saw that. We do have those spells, like you exactly said, like you were saying, of like showing up and being there, but we're not finishing, which is like
Right.
what's the point of getting to that point if you're not going to finish?
Right, being decisive
Yeah,
in
being
front of
decisive
goal.
and finish, and that's the point. And we see that because we're losing by big margins. So like 3-0, and you're right, our defensiveness is probably going to be the worst thing about us is that
Sure.
our defense is bad.
Sure.
But with the style that Chucky Varas wants to do, or the Right to Dream,
Right.
the goal is to maybe lose 1 or 2 goals, but to make more.
Right.
But what the problem lies is that we're not making any of those goals.
Right.
How is it that we played 2 games and only scored 1 goal? If we're
Right.
playing it seems like an almost all-out attack.
Sure.
That's something that to be worried about, something to be scared about. And you're right. We did see some things, some magic happening, some things going. But if we're not capitalizing on it, then we're gonna fail on the reality of it. Something about that Coachella Invitational, when Chucky came on, there was a different,
Right.
different
Different energy.
energy.
Right.
Insane. So you can already see
Yeah.
Chucky's what's the word?
His quality. Right.
What he's gonna bring to this club.
Right.
So that's exciting, but you never know. I mean, I'm sure like when we were playing in high school, like it's a scrimmage. It's like we didn't
Sure.
know, but we'll know when this first game happens, which is gonna be a tough one. But if we're gonna go into the Right to Dream, I really think that again. It's all up in the air. It's
Sure.
all goals. It's all everything. It's everything that
It's great on paper.
It's great on paper. It's amazing on paper. It's
Right.
almost like next level, like a Barca or an Ajax.
No,
Like,
yeah,
that's what
definitely.
That's what
Most
we're trying to
definitely.
build. Do I believe MLS has the quality to do that?
Sure.
I'm not so sure.
Sure.
Do I want it to be a reality? Yes. Do I want to be like the first team to have that idea?
Sure.
Going forward with it, 100%. But the problem is San Diego going to abandon that idea if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
And the reality is, it is a slow process. And are we coming in as a team that is ready to be a slow process, or are we coming in as a team that wants to win right away?
Right. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, with what Mikey Varas has said, and even Chucky Lozano, they want to be competitive from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of to touch upon like what you were saying, how is the quality in MLS there? I think it kind of goes back to our recruitment.
Right.
Is Tyler Heaps bringing in the right kind of guys? And truthfully, I believe he is.
Hey, and I know we talked about Mikey Vadas, but Tyler Heaps is new into this too.
Right.
We're not
Yeah.
gonna,
This is a full brand new organization where it's like everybody on the team, from your ball boy to the guy who's bringing in water. Everything.
Hey, I was looking up applications. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was seeing job postings for ball
That's what I'm
boys, so
saying. No.
I was about to apply myself. So even us are brand new.
Oh my gosh. So everything is new, right? From the foundations of the club, everything is new. So when you're kind of talking about the recruitment process and is the talent there for this kind of style and kind of philosophy to succeed, it depends who you bring in, right? So I feel like Tyler Heaps, so far, I feel like he's brought in reasonable names to kind of adapt and really flourish under this style, right? We're talking about Anders Dreyer in the podcast. Again, shout out to our boys at MLS Now podcast. I was saying that San Diego FC is turning Danish, right?
Yeah.
We got a lot of Danish influence because FC Nordjylland, which is our sister club up in Denmark, they know this style like the backside of their ass.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like these lot are already bought into the system, right? And when you kind of bring that to San Diego and you kind of see, your kind of top level ballers in this team already bought into that philosophy and that system, it kind of makes players like a Saidi, which shout out to our boy. I know he's in our comments and he supports us. So shout out to our boy Saidi. that is the type of player that you want, whereas he's young enough to kind of mold into like this specific style. So it's like you're bringing in players who are able to kind of develop properly and who have the right characteristics, I think, first and foremost,
Right.
to really flourish under this style. So,
Well,
yeah,
just
go
to
ahead.
add to that,
Sure.
I think like if we were gonna do Right to Dream Anywhere, I think San Diego's the place.
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie to you. We have some ballers here.
Yeah, even
And-
southern of the border as
Right,
well.
and
I
that's
think
the
they're
thing.
trying to really capitalize on that too.
We have our southern border, and if you are talking about getting these kids to go to school and play soccer, I think San Diego is about to explode with soccer. It's going to explode with soccer, which is going to suck for us though in our indoor team because we're going to be playing
Yeah, we're
really
cooked.
good.
We're
We're cooked. But either than that, I think we are ready to explode, and we do have an ability to do that. But it's buying into that dream, and it's hoping that that dream becomes a reality.
Yeah, so definitely. So kind of going into that, who's kind of a player that who I think the rest of MLS should watch out for?
You know, I really, really believe Tomas Angel could be that. He just came from LAFC and was kind of getting on the board there, you know, playing well. I think with the right coach, with the right mentality, and in our play, he's hungry, he's ready, and he wants to prove himself. And I don't think he came to San Diego just to sit back and relax. I think
Sure.
he also had the same vision of, I'm coming to San Diego to show who I am. And he's had some good training, good thing, and I think fighting for that spot, that new spot, and like we were talking about on the podcast, I think a lot of these players know that this is a brand new team and that nobody is secure.
Sure.
Nobody knows, nobody has their spot, and I think he bought into that vision, and I think he's ready to come in and fight for that spot and show up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think a player that I'm really looking forward to watching is Manu Dua. And, you know, first pick of the MLS draft, I really hope that he can get a spot in this midfield because I feel like he has the right characteristics for this right to dream style of play where, you know, we mentioned also in the podcast, this is our third podcast,
Yeah.
so it's like we're, you know, kind of, you know, mention all our thoughts and concerns and everything like that. But, you know, we mentioned in this podcast, and I feel like you guys should kind of watch it and kind of, you know, absorb it because, like, kind of just the stuff that we were kind of saying is our thoughts. So it's like, you know, I think Manu Dua has the right characteristics to kind of thrive in this right to dream style of play because he has those characteristics of a not only a ball playing defensive mid,
Right.
but someone who can also break the lines, kind of make those, you know, crazy long passes, right, to, you know, play it over the top to a guy like a Chucky Lozano or Anders Dreyer. So it's like, I feel like Manu Dua, if he gets those chances, because I feel like our midfield is probably one of our most overloaded areas.
Exactly.
So I feel like if Manu Dua does get the chance, I feel like you'll probably see his quality off the rip.
Right.
And I'm hoping in this next game in the Coachella Valley Invitational, we're going to see him and we play New York Red Bulls. So
Right.
Russell, for MLS Now podcast, we're going to be playing you, man. So
That'll be nice.
and I mean, by the time that this is out, that game is already going to be done. So we'll just have to see where kind of that lands. But I'm really hoping that Manu
Well,
Dua kind of gets that exposure.
I mean, and to what you're saying, not only that, I think he's a really charismatic guy. You
Sure.
can already see in some of the you know, obviously
Russell?
No, not Russell.
Oh.
Manu Dua. I think he's already, like, you can see in some of, like, obviously STFC is
Sure.
starting to do more posts
Sure.
and do that content with fans and everything. I think he's going to be one of the ones that the fans love,
Yeah.
and, you know, we get something out of him.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. So who is going to be your MVP?
We can't get over you, man.
Yeah, can't get over you, man. 3-hour conversation. But anyways, so who is going to be the MVP? Someone who really takes every game by the balls, right? Who's going to be your guy?
Yeah, you guys are probably gonna be like, hey, watching, and be like, this is a basic answer, but it's gotta be Chucky.
Sure.
It's gotta be Chucky. And if it's not Chucky, there's a problem. I really
Fairs.
believe that's gonna be a
Fairs.
problem. And that's the reason I'm choosing him more than anything is that he is our biggest guy.
Yeah.
We're not gonna sugarcoat it. There's some quality players on it, but he is our biggest guy, and you do not want to have your star not doing good.
Right.
So if he's not getting MVP, if he's not being that guy, then we're gonna have an issue. True. But what about you?
Yeah, so going back to what you were saying about Chucky and everything, his quality is above the rest. And I think it's very clear to see, especially with this Coachella Valley Invitational preseason tournament. And you know, for my MVP, I'm gonna be a little niche here.
Yeah,
I'm
of
gonna be a
course.
little different.
This man loves his deep cuts. He's not a fan of the hits. He wants the personal songs.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be a little niche here, and I'm gonna say it's a midfielder. I'm gonna say Jeppe Sverskov. I think not only his experience is gonna be key in this team, I think it's also his influence with Right to Dream as well. I think with someone who's a veteran, kind of who knows that style, I feel like he's one of the main forefronts of this team to really start that offensive transition, right? I think the key for this San Diego FC Right to Dream style is that transition from defense to midfield to offense, right? So
But do you truly believe he can be an MVP? Or are you hoping he won?
I'm hoping.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
hoping. But I definitely think that he's going to be a player that San Diego FC can rely on. Push comes to shove in those, you know, tough, gritty matches. He's going to be the one the players can kind of look towards to be like, okay, you know, create something out of nothing, or, you know, even just a simple, you know, a line breaking pass or something like that, or just get us out of a tough situation to start that attack. And I most definitely think that Jeppe is that guy to kind of look towards. So. Yeah, those are our MVPs, guys. Let me know in the comment section below. Let us know in the comment section below who is a player that you guys are looking forward to, and who do you guys think is going to be the standout player in this squad. So we're going to go with our table predictions now. So obviously the Western Conference is stacked this year, right? There's been so many quality names that have been brought to the Western Conference, right? Brandon Vasquez came from Liga MX, from Monterrey to Austin FC. Obviously, I think we got outbid from him, but he went to Austin FC. Obviously, San Jose Earthquakes have, you know, brought in their names as well. Josef Martinez and, you know, them, man. Obviously, LA Galaxy, the league champs, LAFC. So it's like, you know, you're just kind of looking at the names and you're kind of like, where does San Diego FC fit in this? So where do you think we're going to finish?
Yeah, I think hopefully we finish in playoff, like at least make it to the playoffs. If I'm just gonna be realistic, maybe like mid-table. Hopefully, sure. I don't see us being bottom table. I don't think with the team and the style of play that we're gonna be bottom table. There's a lot of I don't want to talk bad about it. Yeah, but there's a lot of bad teams.
Sure,
I'm not gonna you know
right. That's in every league.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think we will be. I don't think with what we have we're going to be, and with the ambition that we have we will be. But I think. If I'm gonna be real, like mid-table, maybe scratching playoffs.
Give me a number.
I can't. I don't want to.
What the hell?
I don't want to. No, because then I just jinx it. I'm saying mid-table. I don't want to talk and then give you a for sure answer or for a table and then you go or for sure number and then you go. I don't want anybody to call me out. So just mid-table.
Unreal. So okay.
I'm not a betting man.
I'm gonna give you, man, a number, right? To go off of like what you said, kind of with everything like that. I definitely think we're going to make a playoffs. I said in the podcast with MLS Now, I said we're going to get that wild card playoffs.
Right.
Whether we progress to the playoffs, I think is another conversation. I think we will get into the playoffs one thing or another.
Yeah.
I think, you know, we have that quality to what you were saying with everything like that. And I mean, the West is tough. So I think that's kind of my whole thing is it's like if we go away to these teams, we go away to St. Louis, you go away to LAFC, right? That's a cauldron in there. They got a crazy atmosphere, LAFC. Which is
crazy, insane. The best in the MLS.
I think they definitely have one of the better fan bases in MLS.
No, the best. I'm not going to lie to you.
Sure, fair. So when you kind of look at that all together, San Diego FC, it's just lacking that bit of experience.
Right.
And that's kind of just my only gripe with that. So I'm going to say 8th place. Solid 8th place. We get into playoffs.
See, I didn't like that.
No, you don't like that?
I don't like that. I think you just jinxed us.
Well, you know what? If we exceed expectations, then I think that's something even, you know, I think it just shows more of like where this team is actually at in terms of, you know, everything.
Exactly.
So, you know, we could exceed expectations, but I think the whole kind of thing of, oh, like we want to win and everything like that, let's kind of, you know, tone it down. Let's take off the bias goggles and realize what we have here is fresh.
Right.
It's a flat foundation. And at this point, we're just building upon what we don't have, right? And that's nothing. So it's like anything is better than nothing at this point.
Right.
And that's kind of how I see it kind of going into the season. Let's go into the first game preview. Away from home, LA Galaxy. What are your kind of thoughts going into it? Do you think that, what we've seen with the Coachella, is it kind of just like a little blip? Or do you think by the time, we face LA Galaxy, we'll kind of have some of those loose ends tied up?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really tough game. I had some hope, but after these Coachella Invitationals, I don't think we even get a win with New York Red Bull.
Sure.
So I don't see how we come into that. I understand that it's going to be our first game, so we're looking to win, but we are away. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be brand new. I don't think we have a fan base that's going to go all the way out there. I hope so. We have some great supporters.
Sure.
But I think it's going to be a really tough game.
Right.
If you're going to give my prediction, I'm hoping, and I think it's going to be a 3-1 LA Galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, so I think at this point, this is the best time to face LA Galaxy.
Right. Yeah.
Of
course.
I think they're riddled with injuries right now. Obviously, Ricky Puig, their best player, hands down, head and shoulders above everybody else on that squad. This is the best time to play LA Galaxy. So I feel like with that being said, kind of with all kind of things said and done, we are going to have to see how SDFC plays in that last game in the Coachella Valley. But it's going to be a tough one. I'm going to be a little optimistic here. I'm going to say a draw.
That's crazy.
I'm going to say a 2-2 draw.
Actually, not that bad.
I'm going to say a 2-2 draw because defensively, again, I've said, my whole piece on that and everything like that. I feel like that counterattack is really going to kill us. So until we kind of get that situated and kind of get that to the point where it's like that's not a concern for us fans and, kind of the whole team in general, that's going to be a problem that we struggle with. And I feel like LA Galaxy have the weapons to hurt us in that aspect. So
here, just to add to that,
Yeah.
what I'm telling you, which I'm very fearful of, is LA Galaxy scores first. They're not going to stop scoring. I don't think we have, as a team right now, a way to come back from them scoring first or them scoring a second goal and us not capitalizing. I think we have gone out full attack and we've been trying to play that position. But even if you saw in that Portland game, we still were playing up top.
Yeah.
There was not like a transition. Okay, we just got scored on. What are we going to do now?
kind of play defense a little.
It was just kept going, and I can see it now. They get that first goal, second goal. They're not going to stop scoring.
Ugly.
They're not going to stop scoring.
Sure.
So it just really depends on how fast and ready we are to score and go get into it. But let's hope.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's also a very good point because, when we played Portland, they scored, I think, their second goal, and then 2-3 minutes later, boom, 3-0.
Exactly.
So to your point, you have a good point. So I will say that. So I'm still gonna say 2-2. I think that we're gonna kind of get that I think we're gonna be more clinical. Is what I'm gonna say because I think we'll have a week of training. We'll kind of really hone on our mistakes and really capitalize on situations. I think Chucky, again, I think he really has a point to prove, and I think what better way to kind of show yourself to the league than against the league champ. So I think he's gonna be one of the catalysts in this game come Sunday. Next Sunday. So
and to your point, I think we're gonna come out a lot faster.
Sure.
I think LA Galaxy's not ready, but I think as we're newbies and everything, we're gonna come a lot faster, a little hungrier.
Yeah.
LA Galaxy just won, so who knows? Maybe they might play on the back foot, and if we can take advantage of that right off the bat, who knows? Maybe we can make some magic happen.
Yeah.
Chucky did it against
Germany, innit?
Germany. Chicharito was his number one supporter.
Yeah.
So
Fairs.
maybe Chucky comes out and does it again, which would be insane.
Yeah, that'd be mad. Producer Jazz, what's your table prediction?
But this is gonna be our new segment at the end before everything.
Yeah,
We're gonna
the
have our
Producer
producer
Jazz
Jazz come in and give us a little tidbit of what she believes, what she's looking for.
What's the first question?
Where do you think we're gonna finish in the table?
Okay, you guys have to explain that a little bit more.
So in the Western Conference, there's 15 teams.
Okay.
So San Diego FC, to get into a playoff spot, we need to get, I believe, 8th or 9th place or above to qualify for playoffs. So kind of judging based off of what you've seen, right, as producer Jazz, where is San Diego FC going to finish in the table?
I'm going to say lucky number 7.
Ooh, okay. All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Not too hopeful. But
Yeah.
Not too...
No, that's definitely realistic.
I might just have a soccer prodigy out on hand.
I know, maybe
Like
ball knowledge Jazz instead of producer Jazz, ball knowledge Jazz. Okay, so then the next game, or rather the first game, what are your kind of score predictions?
Score predictions. Well, first of all, I think that we're going to give it all we can. I think they're going to do a great job. I do think it's going to be a rocky start, but I do also think we have all the right components to make a great team. So with that, I want to be hopeful and say 2-1 SDFC.
Ooh, we got a win, a draw, and a loss.
I want to stay hopeful.
Fairs.
Who knows, they might surprise
Someone at this table is gonna be right. That's all. Someone at this table is gonna be right. So okay, all right. There you go, producer Jazz. All right, we'll see. All right,
We'll see if she's right. That'd be
yeah,
crazy
we'll
if she
see.
does.
Imagine producer Jazz first video off the rip.
2-1 and
2-1.
SEC wins.
And a W. All right, fairs. All right. So, all right, guys, let us know in the comment section below where San Diego FC is going to finish, score predictions, and kind of just overall thoughts and opinions on San Diego FC. Carlos, man, any closing thoughts or anything like that?
Yeah, we're excited. To all the fans out there that are watching us and everything, we can't wait to hear from you guys. We can't wait to start this journey with you guys. Like Vince started in the beginning of the video, we have loved this club since we heard about it. Not just because it's a soccer team or anything like that, but because they are willing to put in the culture to show the love of what San Diego is. And I can speak for myself, and I think Vince can. We love San Diego.
Yeah.
We care about San Diego, and all we want is those players to come out and show the love that they care about San Diego. I'm excited. I'm ready for this journey. I'm ready to start. And let's just go from there, man.
Yeah.
Anything for you?
No, well said. I 100% echo that, and I can't wait. Match day 1, that's going to be a movie, and then that home game. That's going to be fun. So, guys, if you want to see everything firsthand, this is your best outlet for San Diego FC news, videos, and everything like that.
We're going to be right out there, front lines, ready
Yeah.
there for you to. And if you see us at any point or anything like that, please come out.
Yeah.
Please come talk to us.
Yeah,
We'd
come
love
say
to get
hi.
an interview.
Yeah.
Everything like that. What we want at the end of this is to be your guys' voices.
Yeah.
We have a lot of charisma and everything and willing to talk to whoever it is and everything, and we want to be the voices. Whether you're hating the club, whether you're loving the club, whether you're so about the club, we want to be able to externally put out to the world what you guys feel, because that's what's important to us, because San Diego is important to us and the culture is important to us.
Yeah, well said. Guys, SDFC Bros is the platform that gives fans a voice. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at SDFC Bros. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe and follow button. Guys, we'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao ragazzi.